You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K24. If you don't yet, get your copy from the link in the description. It's myself, Mo Moonsie, alongside me as always, the three-time NBA champion, BJ Armstrong. BJ, how's it going? How's your day?
Oh man, real name, Mo. No gimmicks, no gimmicks, no gimmicks.
Never.
We just hanging out, Mo. You know the routine. You know how we do it. You know how we get down.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, there's a lot being done right now within the NBA to improve it and, get more fans. And it's a big focus for the league is to increase viewership and whatnot.
Okay,
And we spoke about this before earlier in the season. And
okay.
unfortunately, we got to speak about it again. The referees are ruining the damn games. I'm watching the Nuggets the other night against the Chicago Bulls. And Nikola Jokic in the first half is ejected from the game. Now, for some context, outside of Belgrade, Serbia, Chicago has the biggest Serbian population. I believe it was Serbian Heritage Night. So all these fans have come to see Nikola Jokic, and the referee ejected him. The reason for the ejection, multiple people sitting courtside along the baseline, Jokic said to the referee, called a foul, mother, and then you know what word comes next. And he was automatically ejected from the game. Ridiculous, pathetic. That ref needs to be fired because he was I'm not even going to say, I'm not even going to throw the accusation out there, but I have my suspicions as to why he threw him out the game. But I'm not going to go down that route. BJ, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, Mo. I'm a when it comes to the game, Mo. I'm all about one word: respect. I'm all about that. And I don't know what was said. I don't know the context, and I'm just an observer of the game. So I don't know what was said. I'm just hearing what you said for the first time, whatever. However, Mo, listen, man, I have my way of dealing with referees. When a referee missed a call, I personally, my first reaction wasn't calling them out of their name if they missed a call, especially early in the game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, though. I'm just still going with me. Okay. Once I got into the league and the officials would call me by my first name, my first year, no official would even call me by my name. They would just say, hey, number 10.
Gotta earn that.
Okay. By year 3 or 4, I could actually have conversations with referees, like a conversation, like a civil conversation. Hey, Mo, you missed that call. And that official will be like, yeah, I did miss that call, BJ. My bad. I didn't show him up. I didn't call him out of his name. I didn't call him whatever. I would say, hey, Mo, you missed the call. And he may say, BJ, yeah, I missed that call. Or, okay, I'll look for it next time. But the last thing I did, Mo, because out of respect to the people that I got to work with. So believe it or not, Mo, the referees are part of the game. As a lead guard, I felt it was my responsibility to manage the game. That's just me. Now, however, everyone's got their own style. As I've mentioned to you, my dad was a referee.
Mm-hmm. And actually, TG has commented on our YouTube page. BJ, your pops used to officiate our pickup games in Southwest Detroit at Patton Park. Long
Yeah,
live the Armstrongs.
yeah.
Shout out
My
to you,
my dad,
TG.
yeah, shout out. My dad, and it bothered my dad when he missed the call. Like it bothered him. Mo, this wasn't like now. I remember many a nights, man, coming home. My dad was like, "Man, I missed this call in the second quarter," and it bothered him. Or he wasn't in position to get a foul, and then maybe that was the whatever the case. Because back then, Mo, there used to be two officials, not three officials, so it was a little bit more work.
Mm-hmm.
So Mo, whatever it is, especially with the respect of a man like Jokic, you literally can call a foul on him every single play, Mo, because of the style that he plays. Just like when Shaq played, like I would imagine the late Wilt Chamberlain probably felt the same way. Any player that plays with that level of physicality, Joel Embiid, for instance, you can see that these guys, you can call a foul on these guys almost every play, if not every
play. Embiid throwing himself to the floor.
Okay, so in saying that, Mo, that's my style. Now, if it's a late call, if it's a game, a foul call late in the game, he doesn't call that call, I understand that. But what you saying, Mo? And I've seen a number of superstars in this league, and I've seen various methods of handling and managing the game. The refs are part of the game. So, in looking at this, Mo, all I'm gonna say is everyone's got their own style.
So Jokic, the reigning Finals MVP, ejected. Okay. The fans can no longer see him. When Michael Jordan was complaining to a referee, how would he do that?
Mo, I'm not comparing, because Mo, you establish a relationship with these referees.
Well, yeah, Jokic himself said he was surprised that this led to an ejection, because
that's fine.
He said usually that's just a normal technical foul at most, implying he always talks like that.
Okay, Mo. Okay, let me assure you, believe it or not, Mo, every official is different. Believe it or not, Mo, this guy might have been having a bad day. Believe it or not, Mo, believe it or not, I can't speak to today's officials, because there seems to be a massive or huge disconnect between today's players and today's officials. Mo, we actually talk to these people. Like, Mo, like they would, you know, I'm not saying we were buddies, but Mo, they would actually, hey, Mo, how you doing, man? How's your family? How's your wife? How are your kids? Mo, like when I went to the game here recently, I went to an LA game, and I ran into like 5 officials who were officiating the officials.
Yes.
And I went to the game with an ex-player. And Mo, when we saw the officials, we must have stopped for 15 minutes and just chopped it up, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Mo, and I'm not saying, Mo, we like, hey, how you doing? Mo, we chopped it up. Like, oh, man, how you doing? What's going on? So good to see you. How's your family? Man, how's your wife? How are your kids? Man, remember that time I called this technical foul on you, man? Ha, ha, ha. And remember that? Mo, we chopped it up. Well, like all of us.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think you would have been ejected from the game for using bad language.
Mo, when people start calling you out of your name, and you have your superior, your people that you got to report to at the game, because everything now is taped. They got video, so forth and so on. And Mo, when you start cursing people in front of everybody, you got to do something, Mo.
Give him a technical. You don't need to kick him out of the game. That was one technical ejection. Usually that's only for fighting.
Again, Mo, I don't know the rules. I don't know what led to that. But let me assure you, Mo, something was there. And let me tell you something too, Mo. Let me tell you something too. These officials, okay, I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. These officials before every game, Mo, because believe it or not, one thing leads to another. I don't know what was said from the last game to this game. However, I remember watching a game here I was watching, because you know I don't miss the Pistons game.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
And I watched the Pistons versus Denver.
And Jokic.
He did what? Go ahead, say it.
He got ejected.
Okay. Now, I sit there and I watched that game. And I thought, God, that's interesting. I watched their head coach get thrown out. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know this, Mo. Nor do I need to know it. But let me tell you something. Them officials don't want the responsibility of throwing out a player. These officials don't want to be showed up, because these officials want to get that call right. And they are very aware that people pay good money to come see him play.
If they were, then he would just give him the one technical foul,
but
say to him, you ain't going to talk to me like that or I'll eject you. And the game continues. The fans see their favorite player, and we're not here talking about damn referees for the 100th time.
And when you get thrown out, Mo, you have to call into the league, and they got to verify what was said and your reasoning for getting thrown out. You can protest that. Sometime, Mo.
But you can protest Mo, that. That doesn't take away the fans who paid their hard-earned money to see you play.
I've gotten technicals, and it's been rescinded.
Yes, that's a possibility, but those fans aren't going back in time. They're not getting free tickets to the... He comes to Chicago once a year. Are they going to give those fans free tickets next time if they rescind this technical foul?
Here's my point, though, Mo. When you start showing up the referees, rightfully or wrong, those referees are going to have a shorter tolerance for you. That's a fact. And I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Because the referees do not want to be part of controlling the outcome of the game because such and such won't work in a cooperative or collaborative spirit. Everybody is going to make a mistake. But when those officials start getting showed up, Mo, they're gonna have a shorter whistle for you. That's a fact. They're human beings. And I don't know what was said. Don't care what was said. Clearly, Mo, whatever was said, they have a short tolerance level now for whatever was happening or whatever happened in that particular game. And I can assure you that that referee has the support of the people in New York on his side. I can assure you that. Why? Because, Mo, those people want to get the call right. Now, you can say, oh, well, you could da-da-da. Mo, you know what to say and when to say it and how to say it. You know, Mo, that what you can say to whom and how you can say it to whom. It's been well documented, Mo, that there have been certain personalities that don't match with other personalities from a player to referee to coach, or what have you. That's one thing I'm going to tell you, Mo, that's absolutely a fact. Players got to adjust. Referees got to adjust. And you know what? We can play that game and say, well, I said it last night and I didn't get a tech. That was the guy last night. What it got to do with this guy?
Okay. So, speaking of referees and ejections, what's wrong with Draymond Green? It was like he's had 5 games back from headlocking Rudy Gobert. Now he hits Yusuf Nurkic in the face. What's going on with that?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you, Mo. I'm just going to remind you what I told you a long time ago. When it ends, Mo, how's it going to end?
It's going to end badly.
There you go.
But he's been doing this his whole career.
Well, Mo, he hasn't been doing this his whole career. He's had about what?
Aside from Rasheed Wallace, in the last 25 years, he's had the most ejections.
Okay.
He's had numerous suspensions. We can go through a list. Steven Adams. Steven Adams getting kicked in the nuts. LeBron James in the NBA finals.
When this thing ends, Mo, it's going to end bad. Now, I'm going to let you have fun with it because, Mo, every single team in whatever sport you may choose to cheer for, with sustained success, it's always going to end bad.
Okay, so here's the thing. Nurkic last night, Gobert 2 weeks ago, Sabonis in the playoffs last year, Steven Adams numerous occasions throughout the years. It looks like Draymond's got it out for the international big men. And Gilbert Arenas today on his show said, I know what Draymond's doing. He's taking care of these Europeans one at a time. The media is trying to push these Euros and you're choking and slapping them back. Do your thing. Is it true that there are players in the NBA who dislike other players because they're not American?
How could you expect me to answer that question?
You may have heard them talking. You've
Okay.
been around the players.
You've been around the players more than me. You were just there in Dubai. What are they saying?
You were Draymond's agent, so you know him a whole lot better than I do.
That was years ago. You were there recently.
They ain't gonna say nothing to me because I'm not American.
Okay,
they know better than
they're not going to say nothing to me because I haven't been with them in years. Why would that even be a discussion?
Well, it's a whole discussion now because this is what Gilbert Arenas talking about, and the whole internet's talking about it right now.
Okay, I just want to know. See, because I look at this game like a scientist. I have a responsibility. If I'm going to say something like that, I got to talk to at least half of the players in the NBA before I can even make that statement. I have a responsibility to the listener here to state facts. I start off every show, real name, no gimmicks. My opinion doesn't matter when it comes to this. That's why I stay on the court. I can't give you an opinion that's not based on real life experience and facts.
That's what I was asking if you heard.
So
not your opinion.
Yeah. That would be. I stay on the court.
Okay.
I stay. Yeah. What do I care if a guy doesn't like such and such? Whoa, I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to me.
Has just been suspended indefinitely by the NBA, according to Adrian Wojnarowski.
Wow.
What does that mean? That whole end of the season, or
it's indefinitely?
But is it indefinitely until they make a further decision, or is it just you're gone?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
That's all we know from Woj right now.
This
indefinitely.
What I've come to understand, Mo, when it ends, it's going to end bad. What is taking place, Mo? Clearly, they've taken into your previous interactions or previous things that you've done. I believe they call it, the term is repeat offender, right? I think that's what they call it. So now, Mo, they've taken on the responsibility because, Mo, your job is to protect the players from bodily harm. And I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I just saw the highlight. Mo, I don't know what happened. But it didn't look good. So what the NBA has said now is they are taking things into their own hands, and then they will make the decision according to their judgment. I don't know but what I do know, Bo, is that's not good.
Well, it's terrible for the Warriors now. It's absolutely season's done.
Well, Mo, again, this is part of the cycle.
Let me ask you this though. So LeBron James, every team he's on, he's notorious for demanding moves to be made by the front office when things aren't going his way. Giannis Antetokounmpo, in the offseason, when things don't go too well for the Bucks, he demands that they bring in more help. Why is no one asking whether or not Steph Curry should demand the Warriors improve their team?
How are they going to do
it? Trade Klay Thompson. They should have not extended Draymond Green.
Okay, but let's look at that, Mo. You're going to trade Thompson to get what back in return?
Whatever you can. That's going to help you more than what he's helping you right now.
Okay, so give me something you think someone's going to trade, because I'm not going to make a trade for a good player or a player on my team, and I have no intentions of signing him back. So basically, because if I don't sign him back, that means I'm just giving you a player or two for free with nothing in return.
Yes.
Okay. So what are your expectations to get when you go to look or trade Klay Thompson? What? Just go ahead. I'll wait.
There are teams who, if they want to rebuild, will trade for a player on an expiring contract, which Klay Thompson is.
Okay, like who?
Which Klay Thompson is. And if they look to pivot the direction of their franchise and go into a rebuild, they might want that salary coming off the books.
Okay, like who?
The Chicago Bulls, perhaps. The Klay Thompson and one of the young players.
Who are you going to trade? Who are you going to trade off of Klay Thompson? Who are you going to trade for Klay Thompson?
I said this weeks and probably months ago. If I'm the Warriors, I'm calling them and I'm giving you Klay Thompson, expiring contract, Jonathan Kuminga, young player with lots of promise, for Zach LaVine.
Okay.
Does
So
that make
you're telling
sense?
me, if you're telling me Zach LaVine is going to solve all their
He's
problems,
not going to solve all their problems, but he can play better than Klay Thompson.
okay, if that's what you believe, okay. If that's what I don't see that.
Do you not see that? Why not?
Steve Kerr has a ball movement, player movement type of offense. Steve Kerr plays in a system. Zach LaVine is an isolation player. I don't see suddenly Zach LaVine being a system player.
But has he ever been on a team with a system like that before to make that blanket statement?
No, I'm just telling you what I see. Now, you ask me a question, I tell you what I see, and then you're going to argue with me.
I'm not arguing. I'm asking you a follow-up question.
What I see is they have a system of play. They have a system of play where they are going to have ball movement, player movement. They have a system of play where traditionally they've demanded that their players play defense. They have a system of play where clearly the ball is going to always be dominated by one person, Steph Curry. At this stage of his career, I don't see Zach LaVine suddenly fitting into a system of play 7-8 years. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm not saying he can't do it training camp or whatever it is and learn how to do that. But what I'm saying right now is I don't expect Klay Thompson to fit in there seamlessly into this new system of play with this group and for it to just work. No, I don't see that. So you're going to take Kuminga away from the team, who's perhaps the best athlete on the team, and then suddenly Draymond is suspended indefinitely. I just don't see it.
What about a Pascal Siakam? He's on an expiring contract too, and if he's not looking to re-sign with Toronto,
I just don't see it. I don't see that. Okay, so where are you going to put him?
Well, in Draymond's spot because he's not there no more.
Okay, all right. I just don't see it. Like I don't see that.
Are there any players in the league that you see that could fit?
I don't see any. What I see the team having to do, which clearly they're not there yet. They're going to have to make some major moves to make the following. Either you're going to figure out how to revamp the lineup around Steph, because I don't think Steph is even a remote thought of moving.
No, and he's still playing great basketball, unlike the other two.
Okay, and if he's not a thought, which he shouldn't be, unless he went in behind the scenes and said, hey, there's no way for us to get better. Because I don't see anything else that they have that anyone else would say, Wiggins, Kuminga, but he's on a rookie scale deal that's going to bring them a caliber player that's going to allow them to play at the level in which they are accustomed to playing at, which is a championship level. So in my opinion, the best thing they can do is the following. They can play this out. They can play this out and then begin the process of rebuilding with Steph saying, I'm going to go along and be a part of this rebuild as we do it.
So you think this season is just a write-off then?
No, I think this season is what it is. Like they went for it and it hasn't happened. I don't think they came in thinking they were going to be bad. Nope. I think they thought they were going to come in and they had a shot. I thought, and how do I know that I think they had a shot? They got the kid, Chris Paul. So it hasn't worked out for them. Now you have to pivot. Mo, this is going to be your job when you become the GM. You got to pivot now. Okay, you tried it. You made a move. You did the best thing you could financially. You put things in place, and it didn't work. Now what? So now you know you have an elite player in Steph Curry. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are a number of teams right now that would put together a package for Steph Curry. He's a box office player. So either you're going to go down that path, which I don't think is even a remote possibility, or you're going to build and say, Steph, we're going to have to figure out how to just play, do the best we can, and go through this process until our economic situation matches our ability to go out there and either get free agents, because I believe there are other free agents who would want to play with him, or make a trade to do something to revamp the roster as it's currently constructed. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. Steph Curry is there. You have a top 5 player or top 10 player. Let's just say you got a top 10 player. Now, those are your options. Now, when are they going to act on those options? That's their choice. But I firmly believe, I want to make that clear, I firmly believe this organization idea, first and foremost, is we put together a roster that could compete if everything goes right. I firmly believe that. And it hasn't gone right for them thus far. So let's see what they're going to do. I mean, what else can they do? There's nothing else they can do.
Yeah. Well, Draymond Green is expected to receive counseling and work with the Warriors and NBA while suspended after striking Phoenix's Yusuf Nurkic in the head on Tuesday night. He has to meet a criteria before a return to play. It doesn't say what that criteria is. But so maybe he's not out for that long. The outcome takes into account Green's repeated history of unsportsmanlike acts. His suspension will begin immediately. So, Draymond Green gone. Ja Morant come back very soon, and we'll talk about that later this week because I'm very excited to see that young man play basketball again.
Yeah. Mo, these things are because and I'm sharing this with you because I know this is what you want to do someday. Mo, these things are very, very sophisticated and complicated. How they get is because you have people involved, and wherever there's people, there are going to be problems. A lot of times, Mo, people start trading people, right? Okay, so if I'm Siakam, like you said, Siakam. So I'm saying, okay, let's say I do trade Siakam. How is Masai going to sell that to his audience, to his fan base in Toronto?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to sell that? Like, okay, this trade is going to do what for us? It's not like Toronto is the place. Toronto's not like Miami or LA, where it's like a destination for players to be like, I want to go there. Like, Mo, I mean, like, when you're making trades with teams, you got to get something out of the trade that you can sell your fan base to.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to trade Siakam basically for nothing, because I don't see under any circumstances why the Toronto Raptors would re-sign Klay Thompson at this moment.
No, they wouldn't, but you'd have to include Kuminga or one of the other young players, Moses Moody, in that deal.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if that's what you're saying. But if you take Moody, if you deplete them of Moody and Kuminga, what does that leave you as an organization if you're the Warriors?
Not much, but how else are you going to get better right now? Because those guys are still a while away from being at that level where they're competing to a championship.
Well, Mo, no one comes into this league at that level. Wembanyama right now is going through his pains. And we're saying before the season, he was the best prospect since LeBron James. So what's a fair expectation? You got to have a plan. The plan has to be, if Kuminga, can he get there? My answer is yes.
Yep.
My answer is yes.
I agree.
Okay. So how's he going to get there coming off the bench? Because the last thing you want is to send a player that wasn't playing for your team and then suddenly becomes an all-star and develops at another place. That's I think Kuminga I think this kid has the potential. I'm not saying he is, to be like an all-star caliber player.
He's got the talent, like the potential, the raw talent, that if it's harnessed in the right way, in the right situation.
At some point, you're going to just have, at some point, someone is going to have to just throw him out there to see, can he sink or swim? Somebody's got to do it. I mean, this kid physically, he's gifted. He's a gifted athlete. So I think the Warriors right now really have to make a decision, which we've all known this for the last 3 or 4 years. When they won that last championship, Mo, I don't think, with the exception of the Warriors faithful, I don't think anyone thought that they were going to win it that year.
No.
Okay. The Warrior faithful can say it. Okay, I'll buy that. But I don't think anyone thought that they were going to win it that year. This is what Father Time does to any team that has played as many games as they played over their career. So this is to be expected. However, it's always tough when you get here because you have to make very, very tough decisions. And the tough decision, Mo, is you're going to have to do one of the following. Either you're going to trade core players or you just got to let them play it out and just carry it out to the end out of respect. Those are your two options. And either way, I'm cool with, because those players, Mo, they've earned that. Okay. They've earned it, right? I remember watching the Lakers in the latter parts of the late Kobe Bryant's career. I remember, Mo, I watched it just like you watched it.
Yeah, that was
okay.
That was not the one.
And then, or you can choose to break it up like we saw with that Bulls team in the late 90s.
Yep.
Either way, Mo, it's painful to watch.
Yep.
Now, your choice, Mo. It's your choice.
Yep.
One team broke it up after they won a championship, and it hurt. The other team let it play it out at the end. And Mo, that wasn't like a beautiful thing to watch either.
Mm-hmm.
So those are your two choices, Mo. Either way, I'm fine with. Why? Because both teams have to face the inevitable decision. That's what happens in sports.
When it ends badly. But what's not going to end is the Hoop Genius podcast, because we'll be back tomorrow with more. So subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I think that was a smooth segue. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you like that one. But appreciate you as always, BJ. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. So you guys, appreciate you tuning in. Let us know your thoughts on Draymond Green being suspended. You can join our Discord community. It's linked in the description below. So you can get in there and talk basketball with some other fans. And of course, I jump in there as well. BJ doesn't know how to use Discord, so he won't be in there. But no, I will tell you what he says on the phone, using the dial-up phone. Don't worry. I got you. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Get buckets.